What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Big Kountry YouTube channel, and today we're doing something a little bit different. So our dyno is down at the shop, which means we can't work on the Honda. We're kind of at a stalemate here, so we're gonna do something different and do a shop tour. Yes, a tour of Cycle Specialties Performance. This is the home base for more Mafia, Chris Moore, Alex Moore. All of it started from our dad, Jack Moore, who built Cycle Specialties with his bare hands. Let's go check it out and see a couple things about the shop, and then we're gonna go through the race shop and show you some updates on the race bikes. So here we go. Walk through the door and you come into Cycle Specialties Performance, a Suzuki dealer for many years. Our dad's been in the motorcycle business over 50 years. I don't know the exact name. I know it's over 20 years as a Suzuki dealer. So the first thing you're gonna see when you walk in this shop, brand new Suzukis everywhere. They got the 25th anniversary Hayabusas over here. Look. Hayabusas of every color right here, okay? Let's say you're not a Hayabusa guy, they got V-Stroms. There's a darn Kawasaki stuck in here. They got everything put up for the day already, so everything's a little crammed. Usually a lot of this stuff is outside, but you got M109. Here's a V-Max in here. A little bit of everything. Check this out. 2024 model Gsxr 1000s. Yeah, look at this gray and candy red. This is a sick new color that they have come out with. Ain't gonna lie, I mean, kind of wish that mine had red wheels. R model, got the R model suspension. If you're in the mood for a new Gsxr 1000, they got the gray, the blue, the silver. Look, they even just got a blue and white one. Look at this, blue and white R model. The blue R model forks. This right here. I like the gray one, but this is traditional Suzuki right here. I mean, blue and white, nothing else says Suzuki quite like it. All right, so then you got sitting right beside 2024 Gsxr 750. Look at these over here. These things, I mean, this ain't really country style, but this is a new 8S, okay? Really cool twin cylinder bike built by Suzuki. I mean, they pretty much, as of right now, are finally getting over the pandemic. 600s, another 750. Finally getting over the pandemic. They're finally getting some stock back in here from Suzuki. For the past couple of years, you're lucky to see a Gsxr in here of any kind, a Hayabusa of any kind. Man, they are loaded down a new product in here now. It makes you feel really good to walk through the shop and actually have bikes to sell. I mean, and to get the, just come in and see these bikes, I mean, there's a lot of sweet stuff in here. These new 1000s, they just came in. Trust me, they won't be here long. One of my dad's old cars he's trying to move and sell. We got some dirt bikes over here, four-wheelers, kids. A bunch of, we got the smart car sitting over there. It's waiting to go to the racetrack. We got some big races coming up this year. Into a little bit more of the race bike side of the showroom. You see here Chris's Hayabusas on display. A Gsxr 1000 that Chris has, 2018 model. Just a little local track bike for us to play with. And then yes, the R1M is down here on the corner as well. And I know y'all are wanting to know, where's the twin turbo? There's a picture of it, but the twin turbo's in the back. We're gonna get to that in a little bit. We're gonna keep on browsing on down through here. Into the parts department of the shop, you're gonna see all the gear. Alpine Star stuff, Icon, man, you name it, they got all the protective gear in here. Not to mention, we got more Mafia merch. Off the chain, everywhere you look, more Mafia stuff. We got a whole rack of Big Kountry stuff in here. If you're into eating ass or anything like that, you might want to check out the Big Kountry section of the shop. You roll down through here, look at all the tires they got in stock. There's a whole section of the shop, all tires, Dunlops, Chinko, Michelin's, they got them all in here. If you will come in this store and you need a tire, it's pretty much a guarantee it's on the shelf. We got Bucked Up Energy in here. We got all your oils, all the way from engine ice, Suzuki brand oil. Stroll down through here, you're gonna see all the helmets. LS2, Icon, HJC, heck, I mean, they're all in here. They got them all, right? Geez, they got a bunch of stuff in here. It's really cool, man, because this shop, they've been so low on products since the pandemic. You just can't get this stuff. So this kind of takes me back to the years of when I was younger. Which, I mean, it don't seem like that long ago, but you got to think it's 4 years ago since the pandemic. And this shop hasn't been stocked up like this since then. So I can remember running through here as a kid, getting to see all the new products come in, these new helmets, the new bikes, all the new cool stuff that you see on TV and on YouTube. There's a lot of it, it's all here, you know. Not to mention, if your bike comes in and you need any kind of maintenance, oil, clutches, Brock's performance stuff, Brock's exhaust, come on, keep on coming. You roll down right here, maybe you need some race fuel. VP and Fuel Factory fuel in stock. Whew! I can't believe they got all this stuff. Another whole shelf of oils, maintenance, chain lubes, gear lubes, SC1, all your stuff that you need to protect and maintain your motorcycle. You got kids' go-karts over here. Very few of them left after Christmas, okay? Probably sold 40 or 50 of these things during the month of December. This thing was like nowhere to walk in here before Christmas. So they moved a bunch of those out. But I know y'all are ready. Let's go to the race bike section of the shop. We'll go over a few projects that we have. What's coming up next for the bikes. It's winter time. We're waiting on that warm weather to get back, okay? So first bike is kind of sitting out here for once in its life. It's sitting here during the off season, ready to go to the racetrack. The same motor, the same setup, the same everything that we took to the racetrack last time is gonna be what we take back to the track this time. This is my turbo Hayabusa, approximately 750 horsepower, turbocharged, 1300 cc's. I mean, look, it's even still got my darn camera on it. I ain't even take my camera off from the last time we went to the track. This bike here is approximately about 78 inches long, air suspension, Penske air shock, full carbon fiber DME bodywork, DME swing arm, max ECU, tuned by BJ Humphreys, of course, as is everything when it comes to more Mafia. BJ is our rocket scientist, I believe we would call him. But enough about that bike. Let's move on back here. We got, as soon as you walk through the door, you're gonna see it, the one that everybody wants to know about. There it is. Yes, a turbo over here, a turbo over there, two turbos on a 2023 Gsxr 1000. Chris came up with this idea. HT Performance built this thing. I'm not really going to talk a lot about it because I know y'all have all already seen all the other videos about this bike. Everybody on here, you probably know just as much as me about this bike. But what I am going to tell you since the last video is what we've done to it. So we got it a little bit lower. we went with a smaller front tire. Now, a lot of you YouTube guys will probably get a kick out of this because in the race world, this right here is one sketchy looking little tire. Come a little closer and show them how small this little tire is. Now we're shooting for 220 miles an hour on this tire. Look, here's your carbon fiber rim sticking out the side over here. The tire does not cover up the wheel, okay? That tire, it's not safe, guys. But this is what we run on all of our grudge bikes. You don't want to know the speed rating of the tire. I think it's like 60 something miles an hour, but we're gonna go 220 with it, and we've done it plenty of times before. But what we did, that got us about a 1/2 inch lower, which on this is a big deal because we need to get all these turbos and all this weight as low to the ground as possible because this bike is stock seating position, okay? So Melania, when we get to it, y'all are gonna see Melania's seat is down here. Huge difference because that's Chris's 150 pounds is no longer up here, it's down here. And the tank shell on Melania goes like this. So Chris lays right here, okay? So all his weight is low and on the ground. This bike here, stock fuel tank and everything, you just can't get but so low on it. So take a look at how I sit on this bike. This would be full tucked on this bike right here. Now in a second, I'm gonna sit on Melania and you look, you just go back and look at the video and see the difference in my body of how low I am. All right, those are the kind of things that a lot of people may never understand about drag racing. But this bike right here, for what it is, 650s, 215 plus miles an hour, and ride it back to the pits. Unbelievable, okay? And you got 2 freaking turbos. I mean, you don't got, it's freaking cool, okay? Moving on over. All right, so here's Melania. This is the fastest motorcycle in the world, and it still has people all the time wanting to race it, which is why we, as real racers, love drag racing, because we have a motorcycle that set the record as the fastest motorcycle, fastest no wheelie bar motorcycle in the world. 596, 229 miles an hour, this bike went. The first and only motorcycle to go in the 5s to this date, okay? So, obviously this bike has air suspension, so it doesn't sit this low to the ground normally, but there's no, the air is regulated from nitrous pressure. There's no air in the bottle. I tried to jack it up before the video to make it, you know, as it would sit at the racetrack, but it is what it is, okay? But just look, so this, look how low this seat position is in reference to the twin turbo, okay? So you look at where my butt is to where it was whenever I was showing you the twin turbo. Now, Chris's feet on the twin turbo are like right here, all right? And then you got this big old, for one, he's sitting back here. And you got this big gas tank and you're humped over like this, okay? Now a Melania, and you put your feet all the way back here, I mean, you just feel like a motherfucking rocket ship just sitting on it, okay? Unbelievable, cool bike. Last time we took it to the track, a little update on it. It slung the chain off of the sprocket. When it did so, it went through and it bent the push rod for the clutch master cylinder, okay? So this bike does still use a Gen 2 clutch, which is hydraulic, use the hydraulic lever and hydraulic system from a Suzuki. And basically whenever Chris disengages the clutch handle, the clutch goes to work. All right, so it has a push rod in there that runs right in front of the chain. Well, when that chain came off, boom, bent that push rod, all right? Push rod. not that big a deal. $5 part, we got them in the trailer, replace them all the time if we got to. You just pull the outer bearing support off, slide it out, slide the new one in, done. Problem is, it goes through a rubber seal in the engine cases. When the chain hit the push rod, bent the push rod and messed up the oil seal. All right, so another probably $5 part. Why in the world didn't we run it no more? To replace that seal, the engine has to come out, the cases have to be split, the whole engine has to be disassembled to fix that problem. So right now they're in the process, really not that big a job. It just kind of got pushed in here, and we'll work on it probably like one day before the next time we want to take it to the racetrack. We have the spare engine in the trailer. All we gotta do is swap the motors out. We'll send the engine back to SRW, let him install the new seal. He'll go through the engine, put new fresh bearings, freshen the whole motor up, make sure nothing's wrong with it, slap it back together. It'll come back and it'll be sitting there ready for our spare engine in case anything goes wrong with the one that's in the trailer. The one that's in the trailer, we call it spare engine, backup engine, whatever. It's an identical copy of the same engine. So literally this right here is the engine that went the 596. The one that's in the trailer is a 596 engine also. So that is all of the updates I got on it. We basically just, whenever we're ready to go to the track, we'll swap that motor into it and it's ready to go right back. Moving on over here to the Big Kountry section of the shop. You see here we got the new Honda finally all put together. Man, this thing is turned out pretty freaking sweet. The carbon fiber accents that we got around the headlight, the carbon fiber air duct covers, the carbon fiber side fairings. If you guys are interested in carbon fiber, I have no affiliate, no link to them whatsoever. This stuff came from Tekka Carbon. All right, I don't know if they're American made, but the parts are in America. I ordered these and got them within like 10 days. I used RPM carbon on my Gsxr, and it took about 8 weeks to get. Quality of it, it's about the same. Don't buy any of this stuff and expect any of this carbon fiber to bolt straight on and fit perfect. It's not made by Suzuki, it's not made by Honda, it's not made by Kawasaki. It's not made by any of those guys that mass produce a lot of good parts for you. It's made by somebody that has made the part, and I honestly think with this stuff a lot of the issues is the clear coat. I think they make the part correctly to start with, and then when they add clear coat to it, it throws everything off a little bit. I literally spent about, I have probably 6 hours in installing this one part here. It goes around the headlight, and you talk about a job. I was ready to throw the whole thing in the trash can and just buy a stock one from Honda and not have carbon fiber. That's how aggravated I was with it. And then we also have, this bike has monster fairings on it. Once again, I see people all the time on the groups, the internet, what aftermarket fairings should I buy? Guys, all these fairings, they don't fit like they did from Honda, okay? I've got a couple sets of them here that I'm working on with projects that I got going on, and they're a hassle too. You better be ready to use your Dremel tool. You better be ready to move some stuff around, do what you gotta do, cut some edges, make stuff work. Quality's pretty good. You know, from 5 foot away or from your view right here on YouTube, this thing probably looks perfect. If you nitpicked it in person, there's definitely some imperfections in it, but this body work was $500 instead of about $4,000 from Honda. So your decision. Do you want that? Do you want this? Whatever. The Gsxr, the bully of Mexico, is just sitting here. Guys, I can't tell you how happy I am that for once, Big Kountry, I don't got none of my shit tore apart ready for the racetrack. I'm ready to go to the racetrack. If it was sunny outside tomorrow, I'd be at Shadyside Dragway racing something, because my Gsxr is ready, my boost is ready. I can't believe it. Normally I am in shambles, working to the very last second. The boost out there never has the motor in it for longer than one race, and then it pretty much stays out the whole time after the race. So nonetheless, we are ready to go finally. The only other thing left with the shop, we got the dyno room out there. Right now the dyno room is under some construction because we're actually getting a new dyno. The dyno that we had has finally run her final mile. It actually made its last pass with the old Honda over there. So I don't know if maybe the Honda had too much horsepower for it, or if it was just the dyno's time to go. So the new dyno will be here next week. Everything is set up to get it installed, and we will be back running. Like I said, that is the whole reason for this video, is because I can't get the Honda back on the dyno to show you the results from all the mods that we've put on it. So the only other project that we do have over here that we might as well talk about while we're at it is the ZX14. I know a couple people are Kawasaki people on my page. Yeah, I don't know why, but I know there's some of you guys out there that like these Kawasaki's, all right? This one right here is actually a really freaking cool one. ZX14. This bike was built by JTR. If y'all don't know, that's Jeremy Teasley Racing. One of the best racers there is out there in drag racing. Very, very, very fast bike. It was a long bike. Big, long 78, 79 inch grudge bike. Chris has decided he wants to run it. He wants to make it short. It's going to be approximately 63 inches and still have 500-ish horsepower, okay? This thing is going to be a monster to ride. BJ Humphreys is definitely going to have his hands full controlling this thing and using 500 horsepower with such a small wheelbase. But a really cool thing about a ZX14 is, like, again, we can get this ride height and seat height so low on a ZX14. So Chris will actually be sitting right here, and his body will go up right here, and he'll be completely under that thing and tucked in. A ZX14 is a really good chassis for drag racing. Unfortunately, their engines can't hold up and compete with the really fast tier motorcycles, aka Suzuki's. But guys, be sure to go check out everything else that we have to offer on my channel, okay? I have discount codes for Brock's Performance, Core Moto, More Mafia, Factory Superbike. The list goes on and on of all the guys that help out Big Kountry's YouTube channel to help me help y'all. All right, don't forget the man that started all of this whole thing. If you ever want to stop in Cycle Specialties Performance, check out Chris Moore, More Mafia. I'm here sometimes on Saturdays. You can stop in, speak with either one of us, look around the shop, pick up some parts for your bike, and if you need service work done, tuning, anything, it all happens right here. Be sure to support Cycle Specialties Performance, bigkountry.shop, moremafia.com. All of this makes it happen so that we can create videos for you guys. But there's one thing I need y'all to do for me till next time. Keep it country.